Ladies and gentlemen, electronic voting machines can steal elections. They can steal your election. One journalist put it this way, and I quote, "The machines can be hacked by implanting of malicious code at the factory. The machines can be hacked during transport from the factory. The machines can be hacked while on sleepovers before the election. The machines can be hacked in 1 minute with a 50-cent minibar key during the election. And these machines can be hacked at the tabulator after the election." Yet today we decide whether to jeopardize your, our, and everyone's 2010 elections by allowing electronic voting machines without paper verification. Machines that are, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely unreliable and absolutely unverifiable. In Iowa in 2006, an auditor noted a 20-year incumbent being beaten 10-1 by a newcomer. But when she checked the paper vote against the electronic vote, she discovered the incumbent actually was way ahead of the challenger. This error would not have been caught without a paper trail. In Texas, electronic machines malfunctioned and added 100,000 extra votes. In a small town in Arkansas, where Senator Barnes is from, not the town, but the state, touchscreen machines tallied 0 votes for one mayoral candidate, even though he was pretty sure he voted for himself. In Ohio, Cleveland, poll workers reported 143 electronic voting machines had broken. But even for the ones that were operating, the paper trail and electronic record did not match up on almost 3/4 of the machines that were audited. The paper trails, ladies and gentlemen, had to correct 3/4 of the machines that, quote, worked, end of quote. In Florida, in the most recent election for Secretary of State, a candidate lost by 369 votes, but the electronic voting record showed 18,000 people had undervoted. As a reporter explained, they had voted in every other race but abstained in the Secretary of State race. A number undervote is 3%. In this case, 13% of the voters somehow decided not to vote, or, ladies and gentlemen, someone decided their votes would not count. And in voting last year here in Tennessee, citizens experienced so-called vote flipping. The New York Times reported voters complained that electronic voting machines registered their votes for Mr. McCain as votes for Mr. Obama. Makes you wonder how many votes Mr. Obama would have gotten without that assistance in those situations. Ladies and gentlemen, how can this happen? Researchers at Princeton discovered it is all too easy to infect voting machines with a virus that in seconds can flip vote counts. All it takes to hack into the electronic machine is a common flash drive. Another Princeton professor reports that electronic machines used in 18 of 21 counties in New Jersey can be hacked in only 7 minutes. A computer scientist at Carnegie Mellon estimates that about 10% of touchscreen machines fail in each election. Researchers at the University of Connecticut found that voting systems could be compromised with off-the-shelf equipment like paper clips, a standard serial cable, or a telephone cord in a matter of minutes, even with its removable memory card sealed in place. A task force at New York University found that paperless touchscreen voting machines like those, quote, presently used in parts of Tennessee, are the least secure voting system in the entire country, end of quote. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why the Tennessee Advisory Commission on Intergovernmental Relations strongly recommended Tennessee implement voter-verified paper trails statewide. That is why last year we passed and you voted for the current law. TASER recommends optical scan machines like those used by Pickett County and Hamilton County. Hamilton says it's very satisfied and would highly recommend those machines to other interested counties. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some now say we cannot or should not have voter verifiable paper trails in Tennessee in 2010, in the very next election in which half of us will be on the ballot. But if counties as large as Hamilton and as small as Pickett have them, why can't the rest of us? Ladies and gentlemen, they have them from sea to shining sea. They have them from Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida. They have them in our neighbors like North Carolina, Missouri, and Alabama. They have them in large states with big cities like New York and California. They have them in states as rural as the Dakotas, Idaho, and West Virginia. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, 33 states currently require a voter verifiable paper trail. If 33 states can do it, why cannot we? Now, I know we've got a new election commissioners and new registrars and even a new coordinator of elections. But with all this change, what about change we can believe in? What about elections we can believe in? Ladies and gentlemen, the amendment number 5 simply does this. It says that the Election Commission can use the standards of 2002 like 25 other states do presently. It says the Election Commission then can have a wider selection of machines, and they can decide among those machines and have machines with paper verifiable ballots. We can have an audit trail. We can have certainty. You can be sure, and your voters can be sure, that their vote counts and the votes that are counted in your election and everybody else's elections are the right votes. Not what some hacker put in the machine in 7 minutes or 30 seconds, not before, during, or after the election, but actually the people's votes would count. Ladies and gentlemen, amendment number 5 says we can do it. We'll give the State Election Commission more freedom, more flexibility. We'll use the 2002 standards, let them use those. It also says that we'll use the funds. There are $34 million available to do this, ladies and gentlemen, federal funds that we have, and we can adopt the same standards and do the same thing that 33 states already are doing. And with that explanation, Mr. Speaker, and pending any questions, I would move the adoption of amendment number 5.
Senator Heron.